congratulations on the every incredible win for the all we imagine as light. The past few months have been, very whirlwind of emotions for you guys, from screenings to winning awards to getting nominated for Golden Globes Critic Choice. So, I mean, how does it feel to see all the hard work and passion behind this project being celebrated on such a grand stage? And has the magnitude of such wins and laurels sunk in yet?
No. It's been like really, it's more than we ever imagined for the film. Like when we were in Cannes only, it was feeling so big. Um, like everything else is like every time something happens, we feel we want to pinch ourselves. No?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We worked on the film for a long time. Two of us, especially, since like we write together also. So, it's been a project that we've worked on and off for 6-7 years almost, and then a lot in the past 4 years. So it's just sometimes you feel like it's over. That is only feeling weird.
But when we talk about the film, the city of Mumbai plays a very important role in the story and the narrative. So, Payal, how did you approach portraying Mumbai? Because you were born in it, but you didn't study there. So you used Mumbai not just as a setting, but also as a character in itself, with its own heartbeat and story. So, how did you manage that?
I think it's because, at least when I make a film or when we are making a film, it's kind of like a very, like a reaction to your surroundings. And it's what forces itself into the film, because it's something I think that concerns you or you see all the time, and, you get bothered by it. So there are the contradictions of Mumbai, which I think are very much part of our like daily life. And past 5 years we have been living here together, and it is on one side, like, we see everybody moving here, especially in the film industry, because all our like friends from FTI also moved to Mumbai. Then you see it's kind of liberating in some senses, because you have your own kind of freedom here to do things. But it's also like a city that can be very cruel. It's a very expensive city. It's a city that is not very comfortable to navigate, to travel every day, and the amount of times it takes. And there is also constant gentrification that is taking place. And it's a city that is always in a state of change, because it is the people who are very easily, who come with a lot of difficulty, but can be very easily made to leave. And we saw that especially during the COVID time. And it's also a city that is geographically actually changing, because it is like an island city that became like attached to the peninsula. And now also there is land reclamation taking place. So even physically the city is like a amoeba. So I was very interested in all these things about the city, and some of it that makes us very angry also.
And in general, like Mumbai is a city which is so many films are shot in. But in very few films we actually see the city.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to document in some senses of a time now that will somewhere remain.
Yeah.
That's true, actually, because I think that like Muhammad Ali Road, I think that area will also one day get gentrified, and we shot, and I don't know, I feel like we wanted to remember also different places.
Yeah. So you were talking about the visual elements. So Rico, I wanted to understand that the shift from the bustling urban landscape of Mumbai to the serene coastal village, marks a very significant tonal change in the movie. How did you conceptualize that, transition, and what does it signify in the larger context of the film?
Well, on some levels, it's very basic. Like we just wanted a shift, a change in season.
Yeah.
So a little bit of time that has gone by between the previous events and what is to follow. So in that sense, the largest shift, I think, is like the first half is very cloudy and the second half is very bright sun. The color palette also shifts in the process. but we wanted the second half to have a slightly different feeling of time as well. We wanted it to be uh, it's just one long day, the entire second
Okay.
half. So we
Yeah.
wanted to feel the time a little bit more. We wanted to be a little closer to the characters. So in the city, we always included the city a little bit in the background or in some plane. There's always some presence of the city creeping in. But over
Yeah.
here, we wanted to be physically closer to the characters and
Okay.
be with them more. So you mentioned this serene of this village, but we our intention at least was to somewhere avoid looking at that too much
Okay.
and being with the characters more.
Yeah,
Uh,
like that's why most, like, at least what we tried, I don't know how much of it came through, but a lot of times Riku would like bleach out some of the background when it was a very wide shot, for example, because the sunlight to not kind of, just stick to that kind of cliche
yeah.
of a pretty place.
Yeah.
That sometimes that, that heat, I don't know, you are from Delhi, but I guess in Delhi also in the summer, that very top sun is like, it's not very pleasant.
Yeah.
So that also feeling we wanted to kind of get. But I
Yeah.
think, yeah, because Mumbai looks so different, I think that contrast has become too much.
I mean, climatically talking about 6 to 7 months in Delhi is horrifying. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't want to even live here. So yeah, so it's like I can understand, when it's 12 p.m., we are like, no, that city is like a
Yeah.
lockdown, and no need to get out. So, but
Yeah.
Payal, the
Yeah.
film opens with a very amazing, like, documentary style of montage of street scenes and those migrant voices coming from the behind. So, how did your
Yeah.
background in documentary filmmaking shape this approach, and what was your intent behind it?
Like, I think both of us are very process driven filmmakers. So a lot of time we end up doing a lot of like research and, not even like research, just when we go for the location scouting, you sit, you chat with people, you
Yeah.
have chai, you adda, or we just meet people for the sake of, understanding better things. So while we were doing that, a lot of people's like different stories we were getting, people were telling, we were also telling, our friends were also telling. So we didn't know how, but we wanted to keep the essence of those
Okay.
conversations somehow in the film. And I think it was the case with our previous film also. Like, a lot of the stuff that is there comes out later because of the interaction with reality.
Yeah.
You can't imagine some things. You will write certain things, you will have a script and everything, and then reality comes and says hello. Which is nice. I really, and I think we really enjoy that. And so we wanted to uh, keep a feeling of that, those conversations and random interactions. And we felt also like somehow it gave like this kind of like a symphony of the city, of all the people who are here. And it is such a city that is actually made up of people who are from different parts of the state, different parts of the country. And you do hear so many languages in Mumbai. It's a very diverse space. So we wanted to kind of have a jhalak of that
Okay.
in the film.
And also we felt that it was something which it was treating it like there are so many stories floating around and we are just
Yeah.
entering one of them.
Yeah.
Just one thing we are delving into deeper, and then that fiction also becomes a little bit more real
Yeah.
after that. So
Yeah, but the film is dedicated to your grandmother, Payal, and I think a friend of yours who's a nurse as well. So, how did their lives and experiences inspired the story of this film? And what personal connections, shaped your approach while telling this story?
For me, my grandmother's story has been a nagging string for all my films so far.
Okay.
Every film has this story in it. All my short films have it. Like basically, when she was in her 90s, she started losing her memory, and so I told her, like, just to kind of keep the mind moving, why don't you write a diary?
Okay.
So she started writing the diary, and somehow in the diary, this husband of hers used to keep appearing.
Okay.
Now the husband, she was 97 or 96 or something like this. Husband died when she was 50.
Okay.
So all these years she was single.
Yeah.
But at this time, it was he who was coming in her dreams and coming almost like a person, like a
Yeah.
ghost, and was annoying her. So she was very irritated because I
Okay.
think she didn't get along with him very much.
Okay.
So I was thinking a lot about that, like this kind of thing that a lot of women around me, like they are independent, they are living alone, they have jobs, they are working, they are financially independent, but these men don't seem to go.
Yeah.
So I was thinking a lot about that, and like kind of, that our ideas like in India, we have to look at our feminism in a way, keeping these kind of things in
Yeah.
mind. At least for me, this is my perspective.
Hmm.
Of course, everybody has their own. So, like, it is these lingering men who we don't want them to define us, but they're there now. What to do? So that's kind of what the film is about. Like this Prabha also, trying to leave this
Yeah.
chap who was popped up out of nowhere. Uh, so yeah, that's it. And for the nurse, actually, like she was very open to tell me all about like the early like all this stuff about the learning about the placenta, how their training used to be. So that is
Okay.
what got me interested into nursing profession. It's because of all this.
Okay.
Like she used to tell me about how it was for them when they were students, and the kind of things on a day-to-day basis how it was. So I got very like she was very open to keep telling me. I would WhatsApp her saying, "Is this clinically correct?" and all that. So she was
Okay.
very, very generous with that, with the consulting, all the information and the
Yeah.
stories about nursing. Actually, many nurses have helped in
Yeah.
this, and we did so many interviews. She was like one of the first people she spoke to.
Yeah.
Oh,
In fact, when her grandmother was ill, she had come to take care of her. That is how we know her.
oh,
And
okay. So,
And then we stayed in touch for a long time.
okay, amazing. Rico, I really need to understand and explain to me like I'm a 10-year-old kid. For you, getting to know about the characters, their struggles, and everything else about them play a significant role in using certain visual techniques like lighting and all. Does that change with the movie or the project that you work on?
yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
It's of course at the present time what a character is feeling or going through, but also in a larger sense how a director wants to see how a director wants to see a story be told. So with every project, it'll I try at least to be as honest to that project as possible.
Great. Payal, the majority of this film is in Malayalam. I mean, very, reflecting the reality that many nurses face in Mumbai. As someone who didn't grow up speaking the language, how did you navigate the challenge of authentically portraying this, cultural context and this linguistic? And what steps did you take to ensure that it did feel authentic when it comes to the screen?
I have to say it was tough. It took extra time to get this. Uh, but I had Robin Joy and Naseem, who are my dialogue writers,
Mm.
and they are from Kerala. Both of them are also filmmakers.
Okay.
And I had met Robin actually at FTI, and I always liked his writing and his short films. So I wanted to work with him because I thought we connected well with our, emotionally and
Mm.
politically, social contexts. So I got him on board almost 2 years ago, no, 2022. And then he started rewriting the dialogues
Okay.
according to the characters, how we discussed it. Like we decided that Anu will be from Palakkad. So then the
Okay.
accent will be like the little slang will be different, or
Mm.
even how they WhatsApp each other, that Gen Z kind of way
Yeah.
of young people talking.
Yeah.
So all this he really worked on it, as in him with Naseem. They really put in like one whole year of just rewriting.
Mm.
And then when we would work with actors also, we would re-examine the dialogues. The actors would
Okay.
say them. They will also bring in some,
Mm.
hear it. We would record it. We would re-listen to it. And yeah, so because otherwise, how do you direct in a
Yeah.
language you don't understand, right? So we did a lot of rehearsals for this reason, for me
Mm.
also, so that like on set, I'm not confused, and
Mm.
I know like a sense of what they're saying and how it's feeling. And if you have people like Robin with you, then he also would say it's not sounding correct. So
So,
so that
but
helped a lot.
yeah, so everyone is talking about how beautiful this movie looks, the cinematography, the direction, but sometimes, what I have felt, what I've been reading the reviews, so the West is seemingly not talking about how political this movie is actually. So, yet much of the discussion is around focuses on its aesthetics and all, overlooking like it has this universal relevance. This movie. So, I mean, have you noticed this in the reviews or the things that you have been learning about this movie, and how do you feel about such interpretations?
How do you feel?
I mean, we've tried in our own way.
Yeah.
I don't know if how successfully it comes through, or to what extent we've been right or not, but we've tried to put in some. I think that in general, like any film that you see, it is political, and
Yeah.
whether it's whether they tried for it to be or not, you can read into it and you will find some things which
Yeah.
will be in some ways uh, political. So, in that sense, there are definitely things in this film which are slightly more directly so, and everything else also then becomes something to read and understand,
But
and
then,
everyone will have a different reading.
yeah, true. But I think some things are so rooted for us. Uh, like some of the context about the papers, about
Yeah.
this relationship, that about some of the little things that we've kept in the film that we've not even subtitled. Uh, I feel like it's there is always this balance between explaining things and feeling things, and I'm
Yeah.
always we are always struggling with this balance of how much to explain or which audience to do it for.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, this is the balance we found for this film, and we'll see now next film how it goes. But yeah, I mean, lot of things, like, people don't just get our country, like there is
Yeah.
so many things here, there are so many contexts, there are so many layers.
Yeah.
People don't even understand that we have so many languages.
Yeah.
Some people ask me, you all speak Indian? I'm like, no. So, so what can we do? Things will,
And
like,
even within the country, ours is also just one voice and one opinion.
Yeah.
yeah,
It can be interpreted in so many ways. So,
yeah. So I think, I don't know. It's that thing about interpretation will always be different. I think even within our country, a film about Delhi will be looked at differently from a person
Yeah.
who's, say, never been to Delhi or never
Yeah.
lived there. So on all these things are there, and my one of my thing was to not fall into any kind of cliche about
Okay. Yeah.
nursing, about the characters, about, like, they are people.
Hmm.
People, there's nothing that you can, be like, this is to be very cliched about their identity. That was something that I was thinking a lot about. But again, like, everything is, that's the thing about cinema. You make something and then you see how people react. You understand also what you
Yeah.
did. And always to learn and do better, I guess.
Yes, I have been following you on social media, Pile. On Twitter, you have been, tweeting about the aspect ratio of this film. How is it has been? I mean, to be honest, if I use this word, ruined the film when people are seeing on the theater. So has it changed after you have like trying to like wrote it on social media so well?
यार रुलाओ मत मुझे यार,
Okay,
प्लीज.
awesome.
नहीं, पर जब से मैंने ट्विटर पे डाला, एटलीस्ट लोग इसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, एंड
Yeah.
आई नोटिस दैट पीपल आर गोइंग, एंड द ब्रेव वंस आर स्टॉपिंग द प्रोजेक्शन. मुझे समझ में नहीं आता कि, like, it is so many films must be shot in 185 at least. How
Yeah.
come it's not happening? Everything in India has not scope.
No. Yeah, I don't understand. It's like the problem is that they showed Moana 2 in wrong aspect ratio as well.
The Moana 2 के सामने हम क्या ही करेंगे, तो it's okay.
So I was like, okay, this is happening everywhere with every film. So it's like what to do. I mean, like I couldn't understand that.
It's sad because, like, it's such big cinema chains. It's
Yeah.
not a one-off thing. So I don't know. I hope people, like, think about this more. Not just for this film, but every film, like you're saying, Moana, or
Yeah.
I read a post of Mr. Hansal Mehta also, who said many of his films were in different aspect
Yeah.
ratios. I think it is good that we are like, it's good to talk about it. I don't have that many Twitter followers that
Yeah.
I'll change it, but
No, now you'll have. I mean, I think
try.
now you'll have for sure. Like, so, okay, now you talked about Mr. Hansal Mehta. Hansal Mehta on Twitter said that, a film like All We Imagine as Light is not getting the support of the streaming platforms in India, even after winning so many accolades, Cannes, and everything. So, I mean, how difficult it is for an independent filmmaker. I mean, you don't get to theaters. A lot of films don't get to theaters. Now they are not being taken by the streaming platform. So where do the filmmakers go? I mean,
In our case, there is some interest from streaming platforms, which are
okay.
producers and distributors
Start
are
looking
giving.
into.
Yeah.
But the problem is that in our case, like because we have it in releasing in so many countries, we can't do an international sale.
Yeah.
So that makes streaming platforms a little, it's not too much. I guess it's an issue for them. They all want international. So I guess and we really wanted a release time.
Yeah.
Like we want the film to be in cinemas for longer. So
Yeah.
that was one of the things I had put forth, like what I could say in this matter. But other thing that you're pointing out, like distribution is a real problem. Like इस साल कान में कितनी सारी फिल्में थी जो इंडिया से थी,
Right.
मतलब directors were of Indian origin, or like a batchmate Maisam Ali's film was there in Acid. It's a really nice film. I think it was in Mami also. Like how, there are we are okay in the news a lot and whatever, but there are so many films that were there. There is Sister
Yes.
Midnight, there was Santosh, Girls Will Be Girls, which is I think done quite well, but didn't get a cinema release. So I think there should be some way, that we can watch our own country's films in the cinema.
Yeah.
Even if they are small, why can't we get one slot a day in the,
Yes.
for one week at least? Why aren't the exhibitors willing to take that challenge up? Like anyway, they have multiplexes. They can show all the other big movies. One film if they show once a month.
And
Yeah.
people will go.
Oh, like
not
Hima Das's film, like, it's so good. Like the way she makes films, she really is on her own. Like it's so incredible, and the films are so great. I think so many people will enjoy to watch it. School children would like to go.
Yeah.
Like if you do an outing, like take all the kids from some school to the cinema. The cinema people can give at a discounted price. These kind of interactive things, I feel, could be really like a way to keep people engaged from a young age, to have like critical thinking, cinema can do that as well.
And your initial question about the OTT, it is becoming a more and more difficult market in general, like
Yeah,
in
that's
general
true.
sense for independent cinema.
That's true. That's true.
When it first came in there, it seemed like it was a scope for independent cinema to be
Yes.
seen. There was some amount of money also that filmmakers and producers could make from, but I think that is all now
Yeah.
the way down. So
Okay.
it is.
Actually,
we'll have
we are also learning about all this because it's new for us.
So, this movie, just like you said, is a basically independent film. You saw a lot of backing coming up after the movie won at Cannes, Then even Rana Daggubati got involved in it as someone. So, as someone who have been deeply involved in this movie, did you see any kind of difference in how the movie was taken to theaters or distributors once a person like Rana got involved in this process?
Yes, I mean he also has a distribution company, so in the sense that he knows the
He knows the
circuits.
exhibitors. He knows.
So I don't know if it's simply because of his star power,
Yeah.
but I definitely just as a distributor also he has some amount of
Experience and knowledge.
knowledge
Networks
over
also.
this.
Yeah. I think it really helped us, like, because he has, like, especially in the South, he knows a lot of people, and they are a family of distribution.
Yeah.
And him also putting the weight behind the film, and like, because see, we don't have like budgets for big posters and all this kind of thing, like to
Yes.
put it on a bus or to even
Yeah.
have it in the cinema, like there were not any
Yes.
phones. So, like talking to the press and him also being there to support, that was kind of like our way to reach out.
Hmm. Okay, so and the other, I think the challenge that you must have faced is like the challenges of securing funding for these for your movies, and it is already a challenge for independent films in India to secure these fundings. So, what was your experience while navigating this landscape, and how it shaped the journey of this film actually?
It took a long time. Uh,
I mean, initially it was a bit scary
Hmm.
because we didn't actually know if the film would ever get made, or but our producers they gave us some amount of confidence, and uh, we had a few rejections also,
Lots. Few.
but as we start getting more funds and the script started developing more, uh, then we felt more confident, and we
Okay.
felt that it was a system which helped us.
Yeah, like I don't know if young filmmakers watch this channel, but one thing that we learned over this process is what is a producer.
Okay.
Like at least in the West, in what is a producer is not somebody who has their own money,
Yeah.
but or not even a company that has money, but they will put your project in a way that you can get funding from elsewhere. So it's like a really like a collaboration. So they will read the project and they will say, यार कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा, क्या लिखा है? तो वो भी कोई चाहिए ना लाइफ में, तो
Yeah.
आप लिख रहे हो और फिर नहीं मिल रहा, ग्रांट नहीं मिल रहा, तो कोई तो ऐसा चाहिए जो who you can trust, they're not simply saying it, you trust their opinion, they're like मैं पढ़ा पूरा पर कुछ समझ में नहीं आया तो redo. So like that collaboration, you need to find somebody whose opinion you trust and who trusts in you and will say अच्छा ठीक है चलो अपन करते हैं इसको
Yeah.
करते हैं जो भी हो जाए करेंगे अपन तो that kind of motivation we got a lot. And even our producer here in India, like he did the best to kind of get the film going here, finding the right people that we worked with, and we had a really great team of collaborators. All that makes the film what it is.
Yes.
Not alone, like it's really lot of people come together.
So, earlier in the day, I had the honor to talking to Kani. So I had an interview with her as well. So I
Oh,
was
how nice.
I was talking to her, and she told me that, you wrote this movie, you took this movie to her like 8, 9 years back when you were, trying to have her on board for the role of Anu, and then entirely things change. So, I mean, tell us about the casting choices that you make during this.
Yeah, like that was when I was still a student, and I
Yeah.
wrote like 2 pages kind of thing for I wanted to make this film with two friends who were nurses only, but I hadn't like done too much research and all that. It was just like a loose idea, and I wanted to make a 20-minute film about this. So at that time, I had seen her short film that she was in called Memories of a Machine. I really liked her performance in that, and we wanted to cast her as Anu. Then I decided not to do that for FTII because I felt like there is a lot I need to understand before I do this film. Like I felt I didn't have the right connection at the time, so I let it go. And then I started, researching, meeting more people, getting more stories, and I realized that it needs to be a feature film. So now that takes time. So I was doing it, not doing it, leaving it, coming back, this, that, making another film in the middle. And so I would keep sending Kani the script. At one point, she said, I don't think I can do this younger nurse now. Both of us have gotten old. We are the same age. So I was like, yeah, now what to do? So then she said, let me try for the older one. And then, but I think in my mind, I was so stuck on her for being Anu that it was first hard for me to accept. Actually, she's just a really fine artist and a wonderful actor, and like so hardworking. My God, it's so incredible and so inspiring. Like I was really lucky to have met her.
Amazing.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Divya
please,
also.
please.
no, we had seen her in Declaration,
The
Yeah,
Mahesh
okay.
Narayan,
Yeah,
which is a really great film.
and she's playing an older character in that film. So we initially thought of her for Prabha.
Because she's
Okay.
very serious in that movie.
Yeah.
So full khichdi was happening. Yeah, but then we met her, and
It
again,
was very
she's
clear that she's
yeah, like we were like, yeah, she's just a great actor who can do both things.
Yeah.
So
And
amazing. And of
I
course,
mean,
Chaya is amazing.
yeah, I mean, Chaya Kadam was like so brilliant. I mean, I saw her last movie, I think in Mami as well, and then this one, and I was like, okay, now she is one actor that, deserves all the spotlight and recognition that she is getting. And so,
absolutely.
but as we're talking about Kani is very chill. In one of the questions, she answered that, oh, I don't care that if I don't get movies, and I was like, as an actor, you are saying this. I'm like, if this goes on to it, I'm like, do you get like nervous? Like if you really didn't get the message, I'm like, no, I don't get like nervous like that. I was like, sure, that now that's brilliant because we don't get actors say such stuff in
Mm,
in media. They won't say it.
yeah. Plus, I think all of them have the kind of connection to the film, which is not like coming to do a job
Hmm.
that was a particular, like a kind of a, just
Hmm.
because it's a shoot that they're
Yeah.
doing. Like they all had their opinion or,
Hmm.
strong kind of thoughts about the film. And it was really like a collaboration,
Yeah.
it was a community.
Hmm.
And they're all quite close still. So that's
Yeah.
good.
So, okay, guys, my last couple of questions are, now this question is for you both. Now, the film uses like magical realism and lyrical elements in the second half of the movie. So, how did you guys, see this blending of realism and fantasy as a way to explore the inner worlds of your characters?
I well, I wanted to go from this very verite kind of style of city, people in the wide shots in a city with a
Yeah.
shaky camera, to go deeper and deeper and deeper till we reach so close that we're taking also very close shots. Like you can see the texture of the skin
Yeah.
of the hair on the body, the grain of sand. We
Mhm.
wanted to kind of like as if it was a microscope that we had like this, where first we are wide and then we funnel down to something
Okay.
so small as the grain of sand on this man's body. And then to go from that verite style to a kind of a magic realism,
Something
like a
more
fable.
internal.
Yeah, more internal also, because I was thinking a lot about how to express. And in our society, a lot of times desire is not something you talk about.
Yes.
मतलब आई लव यू कैसे बोलते हैं? इंग्लिश में ही बोल सकते हैं ना? कैसे बोलते हैं?
नहीं, हम अब बोला ही नहीं किसी को, तो याद पता नहीं है अभी
अरे
तक।
डिफिकल्ट है ना, मतलब
या
हमारी वोकेबुलरी में ये सब चीजें इतनी आसानी से हम बोल नहीं पाते.
Yes.
तो अभी थॉट दैट सिनेमैटिकली हाउ शी विल hear it or how she will what she will say. So cinema allows us to speak without speaking. So I wanted to find like some language in our way to talk
Yeah.
about certain things. And that way seemed to be this magical, because I was thinking a lot about like how this has been done in the past.
Yeah.
So like वो राजस्थान और गुजरात और कर्नाटका, ये जो वेस्टर्न कोस्ट की जो फोक टेल्स हमने पढ़ी है,
Yeah.
वहां पे इट वाज अ लॉट ऑफ स्टोरीज अबाउट लॉन्गिंग एंड द मेन हु गो अवे एज मर्चेंट्स, बिकॉज दैट इज द
Yes.
कोस्ट लाइन, सो देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ ट्रैवल
Yeah.
आउट. There are a lot of women's tales. Now in that they cannot talk to husband. Now we know the famous one Duvida. उसमें
Yeah.
वो हस्बैंड भूत होके आता है और वो
Yeah.
उसको
Yeah.
फिर पड़ जाता है और ये सब
Yeah.
होता है, तो पर वो प्यार में पड़ जाती है ना वो भूत के
Yeah.
साथ.
Yeah.
स्टोरीज हैं कि वो एक शायद वो पेड़ बन गया या फिर उसका कुछ और हो गया.
Yeah.
वो
And with the Tamil poetry, like
तमिल
Sangam poetry.
संगम
Yeah.
पोइट्री भी वो काफी इट्स वेरी like uses nature also very much to talk about longing.
Yeah.
So but I was thinking about all these things, and also Marquez for some reason, like the right.
Yeah.
क्योंकि एक शॉर्ट भी मैंने पढ़ी थी जहाँ पे एक when this man gets washed up on a village in a village, and all the women start to like he is like passed out. So
Yeah.
all the women start to say that, oh look, he's so handsome, I'm sure he's very nice.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm sure his family must have had to make very big doors in the house because वो इतना लंबा चौड़ा है, वो कैसे गया होगा.
ऐसा
तो
ही.
सब अपनी अपनी स्टोरीज बनाते हैं,
Yeah.
और जो अब डायर्स होते हैं वो मरेले आदमी के अंदर पास्ड आउट आदमी
Yeah.
के ऊपर डालते हैं.
Hmm.
So I was very interested in that when you can't speak, then you start projecting certain things
Yeah.
and find a way to release that pain. So somehow in my head this made sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me for this wonderful interaction. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I think that my
Yes, we
questions
did.
didn't
Thank you.
annoy you, and I hope that Payal won't block me from Instagram now that okay, no, this has
No,
happened.
this is great.
Okay,
Thank you.
and thank
Akhil
you.
is still in cinemas. I
Yeah.
think it will stay till the end of the year. We are trying for that.
Oh, nice.
So fingers crossed.
Yeah, so
Um,
actually, I was trying to get my mom and dad to watch this movie, and so I was like, so literally I took my entire friend group. I told them that we are seeing Moana 2, but I actually got them to see All We Imagine as Light. So, but after the movie ended, they were like, "Thank you so much for
oh, that's very
so
good.
so
गाली
दैट
नहीं
वाज
दी ना बस.
नहीं नहीं गाली किसी ने नहीं मेरे सामने कोई दे भी नहीं सकता अभी तो वो है एंड एक्चुअली मैं
That's
आई
true.
एक्चुअली आई डोंट नो आई टोल्ड टू पायल दैट आई एक्चुally flew to Mumbai to attend Mami just to see this movie and the next day
Wow.
I I
That's
just
crazy,
because
man. You're a true cinephile.
yeah, I mean, I've been so last 2 to 3 years, I've been like attending festivals. I went to Venice, I went to London, I
Oh,
went
nice.
to so
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
So
that's so
now
good.
I'm taking in this time of my career, I'm taking liberties to go and watch
Yeah,
movies
that's
that
important.
that I like.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And the
thank you so.
festival feeling is something else.
Yeah.
I mean, you watch with people who are actually equally crazy for movies and films just like you are, so it's very good to talk to and good to feel that energy, so